So I just got done watching the 2025 Paramount Plus documentary Predators. It's been a long time since I've made any content. It's been a crazy couple of years. There's been a downturn in content from some of my preferred lolcows or subjects, if you want to call them that. But this is making some ripples in a community that I've been a part of in the past and haven't really done anything with or in a long time. So yeah, I just watched this maybe a half hour ago, finished it. I didn't pay the closest attention through the whole thing. I was playing a little bit of video games, but I did not like it. I didn't like it. I thought it was pretty bad. Aside from seeing clips of Lauren Armstrong and some of the other more notorious predators that did get busted on the show, which a lot of the time those are funny to me, or at least entertaining, but they are really painted in a light here that is like Dateline was doing something wrong, is kind of what I take at the end of the day here from this documentary. They talked to a lot of people throughout the documentary who were involved in the show, and they talked to copycats, imitators on YouTube. Generally, the reviews are pretty positive from the popular ones, at least, and just the ones I'm seeing at the top of Letterboxd here, it has an average of 3.6, with 4 stars being the most average, or the most common rating, which I am baffled on. I gave it a 2, so I'm in the 4%. Not logged into my account here, but I thought it was genuinely bad. There's one point being made here that I just really can't get behind, which would be they're kind of trying to argue that these people don't deserve the lifetime of stigma and shame that they get from appearing on the show. And maybe not everyone was on the same level of depravity or mental illness as everyone else. There's a couple of examples I give in there. Of course, the one being the politician who killed himself as Dateline and the police were approaching his household. Sucks. It shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. It was his own choice. Dateline certainly had him in a precarious position, and he was going to go to jail, but it was his own choice. It was his own choice. He did this. And there's just a big part of this doc that's trying to say, these people don't deserve this lifetime of humiliation, which I think is kind of ridiculous, seeing as how part of the scare tactic of the show was, hey, if you show up here, you're not only going to get arrested, but you're going to get put on blast on fucking NBC, national channel, that people get through antenna, they can see for free. Everyone was watching it. It was a phenomenon. And not everyone in their daily life can remember what all those predators look like. And I'm sure the people who still do remember make it difficult for those predators who are still around and no longer incarcerated and trying to reintegrate into society. But saying that the show was a mistake or that you feel bad for them or trying to gain them sympathy, I don't think so, buddy. I can't understand how so many people could give this 4 stars. I'm fucking baffled. It's crazy to me. I need to watch it again because I really was weirded out and just want to make sure that maybe I wasn't missing something here. But and listen, I know the big part of the doc that kind of is playing in there, that they tried the card that they try to play. There was apparently someone on the show who was 18 and trying to talk to a 15-year-old, which generally, not against the law, I don't think, if they are in school together or something. But his mom tries making a point that his life was ruined and that he couldn't go to school or something. And I don't even think the episode got aired, to be honest. But you're still 18, dude. You're putting yourself out there for a 15-year-old. I'm not saying it's the worst thing or like completely wrong, depending on what ages you were when you started dating or whatever. But if you were dumb enough to fall for one of these decoys, which they don't seem very convincing to me. A lot of people fell for it, but I think those were also just men that were excited to get any attention and were kind of horny. I understand it's a lonely time being a teen or being in school or being 18, but you don't need to go for the most obvious, easiest solution for, or whatever you would call it, for finding someone or trying to have sex or have relations with someone around your age. Just go meet people, talk to friends. I don't feel that bad. And at the end of the day, there's not that many other examples like him. It's him and the guy who killed himself as their big evidence of why maybe there was some mistakes made with this show. And I really don't think, at the end of the day, after all the sickos and awareness that was made of this kind of behavior and predatory happenings online, it's just crazy to me that they would try to paint the show in a more negative light than it really needs to have been. I mean, it wasn't perfect TV. It was early 2000s. Sensationalism, a little bit exploitational. Do I think it was a good show? Yeah. I think it was entertaining. I think it was cathartic. I think there was justice served a lot of the time. Yeah, and just seeing these reactions of just people thinking it's generally pretty good. I mean, 4 stars and a heart. This was pretty funny in the context of the documentary, this line. And hey, I don't think it's a complete negative here. I gave it 2 stars, but I would say that's mostly from just seeing the clips of our old pals and seeing the Lauren footage again, and something that's going to be watched by thousands of people who probably don't know who he is or don't remember who he is a satisfying thought. But almost all these top reviews here are 3.5, 4.5, 4, all positive, and then you gotta scroll a little bit to get to something a little more middling, or something that I kind of think this is the review that I really it's gonna take a lot more than this half-baked documentary to make me feel bad for people's lives being ruined for trying to have sex with kids they meet on the internet. Amen. Amen. This is exactly how I feel. Um, I don't care how much social stigma you got. Um, you put yourself in the situation. Um, Sometimes the circumstances around certain people's stories are different than others. That doesn't really matter to me. Um, I might watch this doc again and potentially get more a hold of how I'm trying to convey my thoughts on it. Um, but I really don't think that this is good. And the director, whoever the documentarian is that's kind of talking behind the camera a few times and comes out at the end and shows himself when he's talking to Chris Hansen. I just don't think these mic drop moments that he had really do as much as he thinks. I know that he was also abused and is trying to find some sort of answer here, but I really don't know what he thought was gonna be the outcome of trying to defend or sympathize with some of these guys. Lauren Armstrong, he's a clown. I probably wouldn't be that worried about him at the end of the day because there's not a lot that he can really get done himself. Um, but he's a scummy dude. I wouldn't want him to, actually prey on someone. I'm glad that he fucking did some time and learned his lesson and probably will never go out and try to meet someone underaged again. His life is a joke. His family doesn't take him seriously. He gets catfished. He gets trolled because of the show. But I'm glad that it happened to him. He needed to be taught a lesson. And when we're talking about the well-being and innocence of our children and the younger generation, I mean, how can we even... How can we compare a predator getting their embarrassment and their just desserts for doing something stupid like this and compare it to the fucking misery and shame that comes from actually being abused? I think it's pretty gross. Um, I don't get the hype here. I think it's pretty horrible. Um, but yeah, this is just a quick video. I haven't done anything in a while. I hope you guys are doing good. Life has been crazy, but I thought that this might be a pertinent subject to bring up on the channel and potentially talk about more when I can think more and maybe gather some clips. Let me know if you'd be interested, if anyone does end up watching this. Thanks a lot for checking this out, and if you have differing opinions or would like to talk about how you feel about the doc, just comment and, I don't know, start a conversation. Yeah, it's been good to talk to y'all. Peace out.